very excited to have young people on this show, and that includes our next guest, Peter Loubardias, longtime Calgary Flames broadcaster. How you doing, Lou?
I'm good, Roddy. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic, man. To spend some time in your good town like we did last week, 6 days in Calgary. I heard you on the radio talking Flames with the Regina Rocket, Kelly Kirsch.
You did.
They never get tired of Flames talk in that town, do they?
No, it's very true. At our radio station, you could almost do it 365, 24 hours a day. Maybe they would get a little sick of it if that was actually the program. I think everybody needs a break. But no, it pays the bills, my friend. And it's certainly the number one game in town. And so we're back at it. And a matter of fact, hard to fathom right now as I sit here talking with you guys that I will be broadcasting a rookie game on Saturday in Edmonton between the Oilers and the Flames.
Yeah, no kidding. And as a matter of fact, because listen, I do want to talk about your Vikings, but...
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a sadist that way.
I really don't, but it's okay.
I'm sorry, Lou. It's just...
It's okay. It's all good.
I see the teams are in rookie camps because the Pats have this Sfozil Czech kid that they're waiting to get here to play with Connor Bedard. Everybody's saying, where is he? Where is he? Well, he's in camp with the Columbus Blue Jackets. And is it because of COVID that we're not getting a lot of coverage about these rookie camp? Like, what's going on in the NHL right now? Because it seems like there's not a lot of coverage of it.
Well, Roddy, it's true. There are some teams whose rookie camps are underway. In Calgary, it'll get underway, I believe, either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm still waiting for the exact details. There are several other camps underway, but you're probably not going to hear a lot, my friend, until September 22nd, September 23rd, when everybody's main camps kick off. And that's when a lot of the news really, really starts to fly and happens. In Canadian markets, obviously, at our radio station, there'll be hot and heavy on the rookie camp and who's looking good. And obviously, we're going to broadcast both of the rookie games against the Edmonton Oilers rookies coming up on the weekend, Saturday and Monday. But, there are no slow times in the NHL anymore outside of basically a couple of weeks in August. So it's about ready to, let's say, ramp up a lot. Well,
I'll tell you what, we were driving out to Banff on Friday listening to your good station, Fan 960, and they were very excited. I'm not ignoring you. I'm calling up the Flames website here. You talk about the signings of Michael Stone and Gudbranson. They were the pretty good day Friday for the Calgary Flames on the signing front.
Well, it was a good day in terms of, Eric Gudbranson is a gentleman I've been familiar with going back to his days in the Ontario Hockey League, 6'5", 225 pounds. Actually ran into him in Ontario out here this summer. He was looking for a deal. He signs one. Roddy, I think the overriding story, and it's funny because it hasn't exactly, from what I've gleaned, been met with a ton of optimism. I think a lot of the fans in Flameland were hoping for some bigger moves and some bigger changes. And at the end of the day, all the signings have really been more of a veteran nature. Not just Coleman's the big signing, obviously, the two-time Stanley Cup champion and now former Tampa Bay Lightning, but you talk about Stone, you talk about Gudbranson, you talk about Trevor Lewis, you talk about Tyler Pitlick. It's not a team that looks like it's going to necessarily pave the way for some of their younger players. It's a team that and I haven't had a chance yet to chat with the coaching staff or the general manager, but to me, since Darryl took over, it feels like a group that feels very much like it needs to find a way into that third playoff spot in the Pacific Division. And that's how it's tailored.
Behind, dare I say, the Golden Knights and Oilers? What do you think for the top?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to say that, Roddy, at this point in time. I don't think you can sell Vancouver short. I think LA is better. Seattle, obviously, a wild card. But, for the Flames, there's an opening there. And let's not kid anybody else that, financially, things are very different in the National Hockey League, and making the playoffs and finding some more revenue is really, really important to teams. But, I think they made the decision for a team that underachieved last year. I mean, we were on the air last year together, Rod, and a lot of people felt like the Flames could win the division. The Canadian division, the North division, that didn't play itself out. So a lot of guys had tough years. When Darryl came in, they cut their goals per game by half a goal. That's a lot. They don't score easy, but they had players who really had down years. So, Darryl looks like he wants a team, veteran, responsible, and there's no question they're bigger, more veteran, and they're going to be a harder team to play against. I don't know about the rest of the story, i.e. Paul Harvey. But I do know that they're going to be harder to play against with this lineup.
From some of our viewers, from Todd Pinckney, one of our P1s, he says Flyers rookie camp opens in 2 days. From Darren Workman, he says good day from beautiful Salt Lake City. So is Moose going with the Oregon Ducks after they whack the Buckeyes? Hang on, we'll come back on that. From Mark Watson from Great Western Brewing, Rod and Darren, great to meet you both in Calgary last week at the Hose and Hound for lunch. Cheers. Lou, he's the marketing guy for Great Western. Have you been to the Hose and Hound? Wonderful clubhouse they have there. It's a great spot.
It is a good spot. A really good spot.
I won't ask you to comment on this. I'm just going to read it from James in Borden, Manitoba. I'm kind of worried Matthew Tkachuk is going to ask for a trade if things don't go better this year. From Don Muir, he says, absolutely no sports talk about NHL camps and no news here on annual Family Day in Winnipeg. It's a holiday in Winnipeg. You just had a Monday off last week. It was called Labor Day weekend. You're taking another Monday off? Come on. Lou, we stopped in Swift Current.
Yeah.
Lovely town, as you know, on our way home Sunday.
Question.
Yes. Great people. And we watched the Vikings and the Bengals.
Okay.
In overtime. And were you watching the game where you were?
I checked in on it a couple of times. Yes.
Went to overtime.
I did not watch it from start to finish. I promise you that. I had other things going on. And, I'm not going to go on a big rant today like I normally do, but they're not getting my time anymore the way they used to. They're just not. They don't deserve it. They don't get any better. It's like tuning into the same program all the time. And I no longer, until I see different, I don't go out of my way anymore on Sundays. It's no longer must viewing for me after all this time. And I've been a fan of this team since I was 6 years old. But I'm done. I'm done with the mediocrity. Give me something to believe in.
Was it kind of refreshing to be able to spend your Sunday afternoon not having your soul crushed by the purple people eaters again?
No, see, but guys, that's the problem. See, I always describe the Minnesota Vikings this way. They are like the family member that you love, but most of the time you can't stand them. So it doesn't work that way for me. I'm either all in, passionate, usually, scaring the heck out of the dog for 3 hours, or I just find it's easier now to just kind of remove myself, check in, see how it's going, if it's going okay, depending on what I've got going. And the good news is in hockey season, we're busy on a lot of Sundays. But, I've reached a point with them that I'll love them until the day I leave the earth. But I sure don't like them very much right now.
Lou, you're like Casino Regina. Always entertaining. And it's reminding me how long you've been gone from that fine town of the Queen City, because that's their slogan.
Isn't that something?
You've been gone for a long time. I always think of you and the Buddy's Steak Ranch and the Pat's year-end party.
Yeah.
Let the good times roll. Lou, lastly,
Eh,
yeah, this has been a wonderful chat, which I knew it would be. The last time we had you on, I was at the Stanley Cup final in Montreal, if you remember. I was out front of Bell Center.
Yeah, I was helping co-host your show.
That's right. It was awesome. I appreciate you doing that. You were wondering at that time how things might change for this upcoming NHL season in terms of your role, travel and so forth, and being around the players. So what do you know about what the season's going to be like?
Well, from what I know today, Rod, and we know in this ever-changing COVID world that, we're still very much living day to day. The NHL protocols, as long as you are double vaccinated, which I have been for a long time, and I had a pretty rotten bout with COVID in April. It seems at this point like it's all systems go. I believe at this point in time, we're slated to be back traveling with the team. So that's all I know at this point in time. It seems like we might get back into the locker rooms again. I think that's still a little up in the air, but, I think we're going back to close to normal at this point in time, which is awesome. I enjoyed, obviously, very fortunate to have an opportunity to do what I do for a living. But doing half our games out of a radio studio on monitor was challenging. And I love being at live sports. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. It's why I got into the business in the first place 1,000 years ago, and that's never changed. So, yeah, very much looking forward to, hopefully, knock on wood, being back to normal.
Absolutely. There are a lot of questions have come in. Can you answer one real fast? There's a lot of questions for you, Lou.
Whatever you guys need. The general in Calgary says, does Peter think we'll see a lot of fans for Flames games? Do you know if they're limiting capacity or rocking it wide open? Do you know as we sit here today? I don't have the exact answer. There's no question that you will not be allowed in the building, without proper vaccination or testing. I have yet to see just how many people they're going to allow in.
Yeah. I get it. Thank you, Lou. Listen, as always, it's been great. Enjoy Edmonton. We'll be following closely, and I miss you, buddy. Hopefully we can do this throughout the season.
There is not much doubt that I will be in your town at some point this hockey season.
Love to hear it.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, Lou.
Okay, guys.
Peter Loubardias, Calgary Flames radio broadcaster, joining us on video chat. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.